A few months back, I checked out the long abandoned but intact Maine Department of Transportation owned former Maine Central Railroad Mountain Division last year because of the uncertainty surrounding its fate. Maine wants to rip up the tracks and turn it into an interim use trail, but the Conway Scenic Railroad wants to run both freight and passenger excursions on the line. Given this situation, I photographed different parts of the line between Conway, New Hampshire, and Portland, Maine, to produce a video talking about what could happen next. But now there is an urgent need to take action to save the line. The Conway Cynic posted a call to action on their social media page to get the word out there. It reads as follows: Urgent. The Mountain Division needs your help today. This may be your last chance to save the Mountain Division in Maine. Please share. Next Friday, April 4th, 2025, a hearing in Augusta, Maine may decide the fate of the former Maine Central Mountain Division in Maine. The hearing is scheduled at 10 a.m., aiming to provide the funding to begin removal of the Mountain Division Railroad line in Maine as suggested under Bill LD 676. This doesn't need to happen, and you can make a difference. Here are some suggestions on how to help. The ideal option: come in person to room 125 in the State House in Augusta on Friday, April 4th at 10 a.m., and be prepared to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Send your written testimony ahead of time, or bring 20 copies of your testimony. To send in your written testimony ahead of time, there is a link in the video description, so check there for that. The next best solution is to sign up for the Zoom presentation no later than 8:30 a.m. on Friday, April 4th. The link for that is also in the description. The third best, but still worthwhile, submit written testimony to the Maine legislature.org/testimony, link also in the description. Select the public hearing button, and then in the drop-down menu, select transportation. In the next drop-down menu, select April 4th, 2025, 2 p.m. Select the button for LD 676. Scroll down and enter your testimony opposing LD 676. State your name, your town, and say why you are writing to oppose LD 676. Tell me why you oppose this portion of the bill and the overall efforts to remove the rails on the Mountain Division line for a trail. Explain how removal of the track would effectively remove a vital transportation asset from western Maine forever, cutting the region off from economic growth and prosperity. Inform the committee that a railroad has expressed interest in running trains on the line, and as per the Rail Preservation Act, any non-rail use is to be treated as interim until a railroad presents itself. As the Conway Scenic Railroad has presented itself, any trail use, whether planned or constructed, must cease while the railroad is being heard out. Thank the committee members and urge them to vote ought not to pass on LD 676. It should be noted there are a few interested parties who want to move freight on these tracks, and the Conway Scenic wants to provide that service. This is more than just a tourist train, but it is something that will directly serve the local businesses whose only option for transportation is trucking currently. By bringing back local freight rail service on these tracks, it would be extremely beneficial for businesses who wish to save money by having a competitive, cost-effective, and more environmentally friendly mode of transportation available to them. The Conway Scenic does not currently provide freight service, but has a very successful excursion operation in New Hampshire that they can build upon. For those who don't know, the Conway Scenic operates much of the New Hampshire portion of the Mountain Division from Hazens to Conway. Now, this wasn't always the case. The Maine Central last ran trains through Crawford Notch on the Mountain Division in 1984, but about a decade later, the Conway Scenic repaired all the tracks to restore service. Today, the line is in operation still, and they have even added excursions during the winter. That goes to show the railroad is capable of repairing and maintaining the tracks of the Mountain Division. It should be also noted that the rail with trail option is possible on this line. In fact, some of the sections of it already have both. This view in Freiburg shows one example of this along the line. Having freight and passenger rail alongside the bike path would be amazing and beneficial for all parties. A trail only might not serve much of a purpose, well, at least not as an important purpose of supporting local businesses and furthering economic development. Anyways, please consider taking action to save this line. The instructions and links to do this are in the video description, so be sure to do your part to save the Mountain Division in Maine.